Speaking of well-known former mayors, you've said that he is one of the political influences in your life. Can you elaborate on that for us?
Sure. When I moved to Georgia, it was like around 2013, and I just really wasn't that engaged in a lot of the politics that was going on then. When Pete came in the primary, just really, his commitment to local government and the impact that we can see that he made, just the way he presented his campaign, how authentic and how honest and how open he was. I mean, I want to be Pete Buttigieg, so it's like, what can I do to emulate the characteristics that he demonstrated on the campaign and that he demonstrates as an elected official?
You mentioned the impact, like one of the things that drew you to Pete was his commitment to local politics. Talk about the importance of local politics.
Sure. So the cities generally manage a lot of your day-to-day in terms of zoning. So what types of developments get built. That could be around affordable housing, or it could be whether you get a grocery store or a bank, or you get, a pawn shop or something like that, another liquor store. They also do a lot of parks and rec and roads and things like that. The county commission is kind of like an umbrella over the cities, and we basically do everything the city doesn't. So the city of Atlanta, for example, provides a lot more services than, say, the city of Johns Creek, where I live. And so Fulton County would fill in for those places where Atlanta doesn't. So water is a great example. Atlanta provides their own water to residents, but Fulton County provides water to any residents that don't get water from their city. We also happen to process and manage the elections. So each city is actually technically responsible for their own city elections, but they often contract that to the county, which generally holds regular elections anyway. And so they just have that process in place. It just makes sense to contract with the county. So one of the biggest things that we're looking at right now is my current commissioner has been voting against election funding for our elections. And if you remember, Fulton County is one of the targets for the Republicans trying to intervene with our elections. And if we didn't have the funding last summer that we needed, the elections director was going to send letters out to the cities saying they were going to have to hold their own election, because my commissioner and a couple of others were not funding the early voting staff from this temp firm that we needed. And if our elections department cannot provide an election, which is their only job, then it's a very easy translation from the state board of elections that's trying to take over our county elections board to just come in and say, well, you were not able to perform your duties. Let's take you over and install, their own people in place, which could just really put risks for either Stacey's election and Warnock's election in 2022, or the presidential election in 24.
Wow. So was that the motivator for you to run?
I think the first thing was we just haven't had a lot of Democratic leadership in North Fulton, in the North Fulton suburbs. And in 2018, we were able to flip some of the state legislative seats. And I knew that my district was flippable. And so I really just wanted to take an effort to do that. And the commission seat is as big as about a state Senate seat. And so I knew I'd have the opportunity to, raise the money and do the legwork to work a bigger district and really make an impact on turning this whole area blue. One of the things that translated the most is that feeling of belonging. And so, we had a lot of that throughout the Pete's campaign, and a lot of the Democrats in North Fulton just don't know there are other Democrats here. Literally don't know that there are Democrats on their street. And so I want to make sure that we are really getting people out and together, and when they're volunteering in their neighborhood, they're going to feel more empowered, because they're going to be like, oh, look, all of these Democrats really are here. Because the numbers show we are here. We just haven't really been doing enough to show people that they can get involved, and how they can get involved, and how important their vote is. I really enjoyed working with all the people on Pete's campaign, and some of them are also up here with me and will be working on my campaign with me.
How do you show people in your community that there are Democrats there?
Well, one example is putting up big signs. so, you know, every election community has its own quirks, right? So right now, the Republicans in our district for various offices have put up these like 4 by 3 foot signs, like in all these different locations. And so I have to respond in kind with a similar sign. You may not need to do that in every market, but you know, I need to respond to what the other candidates are doing. We really need to do what we need to do to show people the confidence that we're here and that we're doing the work.
Tell our viewers where they can find you online.
MAGGIE, MAGGIE, the number 4 in Fulton, FULTON.com.
Thank you so much for running, Maggie, and thank you for being with us on You Can't Beat Blue today.
Thank you very much. I hope that we have a nice big blue wave in Georgia this year.
Right there with you.